Oh, yes, we are live on the Love Gurus podcast. Thank
Pretty
you
much
to
on
everybody.
time, too.
Pretty much on time, yeah. This barely ever happens, less than 10 minutes late. Let's start the goddamn show.
You think your love life is going kind of bad?
Always.
If you find out your girlfriend accidentally banged your dad.
She promised she wouldn't.
You think your
Caitlin's like,
romance maybe ain't the norm.
It was doing fine until the dad thing.
If you find out your fiance has been slipping it to your mom.
Also that, she has a type.
Just
That type is
ask
my
the
family.
love gurus to tell you what
Oh, I have a
to
question
do.
up already. That's not supposed to be there.
Listen to the love gurus. or
It's
your
okay.
life is
No one's going to start
screwed.
commenting till 9 o'clock. 'Cause
Love gurus.
Yes, that is right. We are the Love Gurus podcast. Thank you to everybody listening live. We are live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for joining us. We're going to take ridiculous dating questions from the wild animals on Reddit and the comments from you guys in the chat. So definitely chat us up. Suzanne, my co-host, is gone. She did this thing
R.I.P.
where she lit herself on fire a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did she really?
Yeah, and it was like a whole pro-life thing. She had joined some kind of
That
Jesus cult.
seems
Right?
like Suzanne.
right in
Yeah,
front of
yeah.
the White House and everything.
Right,
in front of the White House.
She was screaming, "I burn for the unborn," and she just like
Right.
a Buddhist monk.
Right.
And then
It was desperate.
what? Right, but then Planned Parenthood paid to fix her burns. Just she was pro-choice again.
Oh.
Now she's gone way into 16 Chan. It's actually there was 4 Chan. And then 8 Chan, and now 16 Chan.
Wow.
So she is just touring the country, lighting up pizza restaurants that have, pedophiles, cannibals, aliens, you name it, man. She's in there with an assault rifle, man. I mean, she needs an address and barely what they're doing, and she's all about
Had I
it.
known that when she asked me to do this, I think I would have had a different answer.
Right? You'd have
I
been like,
mean,
"Take me with you." This
I
pizza restaurant
would've
sounds like
said-
a better podcast.
I would have said, Suzanne, I will do the podcast, but also I need to talk to you
Sure.
about your behavior.
Right.
Because you have to stop acting like this. You have to stop attacking
Suzanne,
the
will
pizza
you please come to
restaurants.
my office?
Or
Ding dong.
talk about the pizza restaurant slangs on the podcast. It
Sure.
would get us more views. It would be more interesting. Oh, Joel on YouTube says, "Is it 9 o'clock yet? I want to comment." It is not 9 o'clock yet, but you can feel free to comment now. Definitely comment by the time you log on, man. Early, as early as you can. But
So wait. So what did she do this week? Why is Suzanne missing this week?
I just told you she's invading pizza restaurants with an assault rifle.
Oh.
to try to free the children / aliens or whoever's being captive in there.
Right.
Suzanne's getting to the fucking bottom of it.
Good.
You know what I
That
mean?
sounds-
She's going in with a vest and 17 extra mags.
Okay.
She's not playing.
Not to be, bringing Suzanne down, but that seems like a lot less extreme than what she did before. So, Suzanne, you might be losing your edge, okay? I'm sorry.
It kind of is. You know what I mean? And it's sort of like, hey, man, if those pizza restaurants are really doing that, someone's got to stop them.
Right.
I'm glad Suzanne's taking a stand on this one.
I mean, it's nice because, as you know, Suzanne has no real principles, and
Right.
so it's nice that she has at least some stand.
It's
now.
glad that she's gotten something
You
that she
know.
cares about.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. She cares about answering dating questions, but now, I mean, we give $50 billion to help the Ukraine, which we should do. Let's give at least a couple million to Suzanne so she can free these kids and aliens and whoever else is being captured in these pizza restaurants, according to 16 Chan.
Right. Sure.
But since she's off doing the Lord's work, or somebody's, let's introduce our guest, man. First up, she is the official fill-in host, the one, the only, the hilarious Amy Liszka. Thank you for being back on the show.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Tell them where they can find you.
At Amy Liszka. It's just such an obscure name
There
that
you
you can. I get my name all the time, so it's Amy, and then this is the weird part: Lis as in Sam, Z as in zebra, Ka.
It's Eastern European. They
Yes.
love them some consonants.
Yes.
Hard and all mushed together like
Yeah.
that.
Amy Liszka anywhere. Yeah, it's nice to have a weird last name.
Yep.
You get all your handles.
Fucking A, man. But we have 2 other amazing guests today, man. We've got a bunch of guests. First up, he is a returning guest, a hilarious stand-up comic, Mr. Collin Chamberlin. Thank you for being back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
And
dude.
last time I did it was over Zoom.
Yes, it
so
was.
This is my first time in the bunker.
Oh, it's
you know?
wild.
And I'm
It's wild.
loving every second of it.
And
You
you
know,
did not get bit by a dog,
I
too.
didn't
Right.
get bit. Nobody bit me. Nothing bit me. I love the big wine glasses. It's so fun. It's like, is that for Stella? Is that for wine? Also, Jake, I've never seen anyone pour more wine in once in their life than you poured.
Oh, dude.
That is, if we found a bigger glass, it would, I mean.
The hell with wine glasses. I like wine chalices. You know what I'm saying?
You have like with the glass and the wine, you have like a very like a king. Like sort of like if you're a Game of Thrones, like a Robert Baratheon, sort of like a drunk king vibe, and I love it.
Bring them before me and murder them for my amusement.
I'm waiting for someone to come out with a turkey leg. Yeah,
dude, I need a turkey leg, like Henry VIII. You know what I mean? Just chopping off heads and invading fucking provinces, man. That's what I ought to be doing right now. I agree.
Sponsoring wine and turkey legs now.
Yeah. And I think we should change the official religion of England. Why the hell not? You know, that fucking prude pope of that guy. You know, not letting me get divorced.
I'm free next week, so if that works,
let's do it. Let's create a new English chapter of Christianity. You know, Pope Dickface III or whatever, trying to cockblock me.
His official name.
I can't. You're right. Yeah, I mean, I don't pick the names. You know. I'm not in charge.
But soon you will.
Yeah, soon I will. Once I send Collin and the boys down there. We're picking all the Pope names. You hear me, old man?
Boys,
We're getting rid of that stupid fucking hat of yours too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love that.
And hopefully our third guest will help us with that as well.
Yeah.
You know, she is a hilarious stand-up comic. Another returning guest of the podcast, Caitlin McKee. Thank you for being back on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I wasn't listening. I was just petting your dog, so I have no idea what you guys are saying. Sorry.
Well, you signed up for a lot of stuff just now.
I'm
unknowingly.
Sure.
Dude, the next few weeks are going to get wild.
Well, after COVID, I'm ready for some excitement. So that involves burning a pope. Is that what we were doing? I was petting a dog.
Something like that. I mean, I'm going to check with Suzanne. That might. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure that, you know.
We'll have to go deep into 16 Chan to figure
pretty much, man. Pretty much. We're sort of going to be like that bald monk in the Da Vinci Code. But, you know, we sort of worship... not the bald monk, the albino monk.
Sorry, I feel bad. I have not seen the Da Vinci Code. I brought my own tea.
Shit, really?
I'm that person. I haven't seen the Da Vinci Code, and I brought my own tea.
It's all right. That reference went deep, and actually, now that I think about it, I believe that was Da Vinci Code 2. I should flog myself like that guy for doing a Da Vinci Code 2 reference.
No, you should
Fuck
be
the second
proud
one.
of a Da Vinci Code 2
You're right.
The Da Vinci Code was 20 years ago, so.
And the Da Vinci Code 2 didn't matter, so.
Because did it even happen?
Yeah, I mean, not according to 16 Chan.
I'm posting on 16 Chan.
There you go.
Have you thought about the name Suzanne Chan?
Suzanne Chan! Yeah, dude! That should have been the name of this fucking podcast,
Suzanne
man.
Chan.
The Love Gurus blows.
I'm picturing Suzanne doing like very conservative comedy, and that's also making me laugh. Like I'm picturing her doing like a tight 15 on like, how much she loves like you know, Jesus and like having, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I can't even. I'm just like picturing what her conservative.
I would love for her to be doing 15 minutes of comedy on Jesus, but she just converted, so she's getting all the quotes wrong.
Yeah. She's like Donald Trump. I think every page is awesome in that Bible, by the
Paul
way.
50:50.1.
They give you wafers when you go to their thing. You get a wafer at the end, and there's one. I haven't had it. I know Suzanne's not Southern, though. Suzanne's not that Southern.
It's just like they said in Tito and Jermaine 317. I think those were characters, right?
Yeah. Wait, do we? I forget, but do we find out where we can find you and you?
Oh, yes.
Wait,
Where can we find you guys?
You can find me anywhere on Instagram. Instagram is just Collin_comedy. Twitter's Collin Comedy. TikTok, I'm on TikTok. I also, if you have a YouTube account, I'm assuming you do. If you're watching this, right? This is on YouTube.
Live on YouTube.
I put out a special in January.
Oh, nice!
And an album. It's on YouTube.
What?
It's in.
Dude.
It's called FU.
It's no, but that would have been a better name. It's called
Suzanne.
It's called Hello, It's Me.
Nice,
nice. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Hello, it's me. Look it up, people. Download it. Give it some likes.
And
give them some subscribes.
I always tell people the best thing you do is put it on, turn the volume all the way down, and then just leave your house. You know what I mean? Just let it run.
Go. Just and put it on repeat. Get those streams
exactly.
Up. 100%. And Caitlin, where can they find you?
I just joined 16 Chan. And
Fuck yeah, dude!
My account is at Are you awake yet? Are you awake yet? Because I'm really inspired by Suzanne, and I can't wait to get out there and just expose some pedophiles. And,
right.
You know, do everything and just stop.
Dude, her nickname on there is P. That's one higher than Q.
Wow.
That's right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jake, that was very fast.
Dude, I sang that song when I was a kid. That A B C. I mean, you know, it was was written by aliens in the Pentagon, but beside that, it's a pretty goddamn good tune.
Are you awake yet?
Oh, Joel on YouTube says, Suzanne walking into every joint across the nation with an AK and saying, it's a slice or your life might be the hottest thing I've ever heard in the last 13 and a half minutes.
Oh my gosh.
He says 64 ounces of a Zinfandel. Woohoo. Yeah, damn right, dude. And this is good wine too, man. Let's hear from our unofficial fifth member of the podcast, and by that I mean the white wine. We're gonna answer some ridiculous dating questions on the Love Gurus podcast from the wild animals on Reddit. But first, let's hear about some delicious Pinot Grigio. Do you want a nice crisp one to brighten up your Thursday evening? Then you cannot do better than Tenuta del Moro. It is a refreshing blend of fruit and herbs. It's a little bit dry, kind of sweet, but not sugary. This is a good one, and it's got a butterfly on the front. Why? Because the guy from Silence of the Lambs loves this wine too. Yes!
Don't mess with the butterfly.
Tenuta del Moro, the official wine of being sexy in a basement and doing anything it takes to look your best. Get you some! Now let's hear from our first question.
Wait.
What's up?
Like and subscribe, people.
Oh, yes. Like and subscribe to the Love Gurus podcast. Thank you for reminding me that. I forget to tell people
Good
that.
catch.
And that's why we ain't in Madison Square Garden right now. What can I tell you?
Well, they are booked.
They're
I
booked.
think they had other stuff tonight. Yeah, to be fair.
That's true. I did see a Barker out in front of Madison Square Garden when I passed through.
I think there's an
Suzanne's at
open
the
mic.
Sbarro across the street, though. Stirring shit up.
She heard what they're up to in there, you know. Question one on the Love Gurus podcast. That's not the right question at the top of there. Here we go. My boyfriend is upset that I used to call my ex daddy. I'm a 28 female, and my boyfriend is a 27-year-old male. We've been together about 3 years, living together for a year. Prior to him, I had a 5-year relationship with an older guy that ended about a year before my current relationship. This is a long one, so strap in, people. My boyfriend brought up maybe 6 months ago how I'd feel about calling him daddy in bed. Ew. I told him...
Said that?
Yeah, he
That's
suggested
weird.
it. That is kind of weird, right?
I feel like that's a girl's initiation, not a guy's.
Uh-huh. I mean...
Yeah. Like, I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of like when there's a threesome, if two girls are involved, the girls do the picking. It's kind of like, I don't know.
The daddy rules, unless you're Spanish, then daddy and mommy all day, you know? Poppy, mommy,
Right.
all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. A guy saying call me daddy, I don't know. I don't ugh.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird to request it as the dude, but hey, man, whatever you're into, let's find out where this goes. I told him I wasn't comfortable with that and didn't want to. He let it go. A few days ago, we ran into my ex at a gas station. He acted really nice, introduced himself to my boyfriend, then made a comment about he'd have expected my boyfriend to be older, looks a little young, to replace him as daddy, and laughed. Oh, my boyfriend didn't really say anything about it, and I quickly said goodbye and rushed us out the door.
What?
The car ride was quiet, but when we got home, he stormed to our bedroom and slammed the door.
She was like, Daddy, no.
I mean, yeah, there's no not calling him daddy now. I'm sorry.
He's
sorry.
acting like a little kid, honestly. So if anything, she should call him like Sport. Or something.
Spencer.
Yeah.
When
Spunky.
went in trying to talk to him, but he refused. Just spread his entire body across the bed so I couldn't get on it as well. It was late, so I went to sleep on the couch for that night. The next day, he left for work before I woke up, then came back late. So I tried to talk to him again. He says he's hurt and upset that I lied to him about feeling uncomfortable with, and feeling uncomfortable with someone, and about feeling uncomfortable. All right, he didn't type it that great. About calling someone else calling her daddy, and then realizes now I just don't want to call him daddy. Okay. My
Daddy
relationship.
number 2? Daddy 2?
Daddy 1, daddy 2.
Ooh. What is dad? Why doesn't everyone just do dad?
Fuck me like a redheaded stepchild.
What about father? Father! Father! Oh, father!
Papa. Oh, fuck me, papa. Fuck me, papa. My relationship with my ex was a train wreck of bad decisions for years. I met him when I was 19 and he was 36.
Oh,
damn.
my God.
He became pretty controlling pretty quick, and but I didn't really
Yeah,
notice.
'cause he was the only adult in the house. That's why.
He was a lot older, you know. I thought I loved him. He asked me to call him that, and I was an infatuated idiot. He was older, mature, had his life together, took care of me, and supported my university and career goals. So I just did it and felt okay with it at the time. Near the end of our relationship, I was realizing he was more controlling than I was happy with, and he wasn't treating me like an equal partner like I wanted to. Probably because you were a zygote.
Essay? This
is fucking wild, man. It went from he's protective and helpful to he's restrictive and authoritative, so I broke things off. He didn't take it well, but he never caused me any trouble. How to better explain this to my boyfriend? Wow.
Wait,
I need a breath after that.
The first thing I would do is get yourself a friend that does editing. You
Yeah,
know
no
what I mean?
shit.
Get yourself someone that does like edit, like an editor for a book, and have them run through that.
Yeah, I
you
could have
know?
used the fucking cliff notes of that one.
There's
My God.
a saying in comedy called "cut the fat."
Yeah.
You know, we gotta cut some fat on that story.
Yeah, and there's another saying around the local New York comedy scene, and that is that Jake Vevera does not read well out loud. So cut that shit down a little tighter.
Right. Do Jake a favor.
Yeah, do me a
Maybe
solid.
not use so many big words, okay?
Yeah, bro,
Or
anything.
just so many words. Let's
Yeah.
just, you know.
Wait, let me get this straight. They randomly ran into the ex-boyfriend at a gas station, and
Yeah.
he said, "Have fun with calling her daddy." Is that
Yeah,
what?
like
He
X
made-
is
I think-
definitely a creepy piece of shit, dude. Like
Okay.
any like for the most part, like dudes that I've known who were like, in their 30s and stuff, especially we're talking late 30s and dating like not just a one-time hookup at a bar, but like dating a 19-year-old, a 21-year-old, 22. It's like those are usually kind of piece of shit dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying there's never been an exception to that in the history of fucking. But for the most part, if this is a table game and you tell me those two ages and that it was a long-term relationship, I'm betting on creepy fuck the whole time.
I want to know, why didn't the current boyfriend why didn't you just go up to him and punch him? Like, those are fighting words. Come on.
Well, but to be fair,
Even
that's
if it
probably a
wasn't
better
true, like,
way
why
of
didn't-
dealing with it,
I'm trying to say violence is okay and sit some.
I
I would've
sound
killed the
like,
fucking
though,
guy,
that
but-
this guy has to say that in public to someone that you just met takes so much confidence. You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna fight that. Like, that is the kind of older guy that like has been doing like Muay Thai for a couple
Sure.
years now.
Yeah.
You know what I
No,
mean?
no.
He's still
Steroids. Muay Thai steroids.
Right.
Muay Thai steroids. He's probably jacked. You know
And that's
what
a
I
good
mean?
point. And I always try to mention at least once an episode, I like to err against the people writing the questions for two reasons. A, this is on Reddit and these people are animals.
Sure.
B, more importantly, this is a question that is like a source by for and about them. It is their personal Fox News, their personal MSNBC, their personal North Korean state-run news if their father gave them the entire country.
Okay.
So when they kind of brush, it's like, yeah, man, that would have been a detail that was left out. Like if this guy is fucking jacked,
Yeah,
I mean,
right. It's also just a thing of like, if you see your ex anywhere and you're with somebody
Yeah.
else, just go.
Bonehead
Get
fucking
out.
move, especially with how weird this guy was. You
Get
know
out
not
of
to
it.
talk
Right,
to this
yeah.
fucking guy.
Just be like, hey, I have to go to another gas station. You know?
well, yeah, man. and-
Immediately.
Well, who talks to anybody at a gas station? Like, I don't even
Right.
have a car, but if I drove to a gas station and saw my aunt, I would wave and then quickly drive away. Like, I
Yeah.
don't need to talk to anybody. But I would say for this couple, like, because the guy clearly won this, the former daddy won the competition.
Yeah.
Like so I would be like, okay, he's Big Daddy, and you can be, and you can be Daddy, but if you want to be
Yeah.
Big Daddy, you gotta confront some people at Exxon.
Right.
You know?
Until then,
It's,
you're Little Daddy, not Lil Daddy like some kind of SoundCloud rapper with
No.
face tattoos.
Right.
You are
Yeah.
Little Daddy.
You're little, petit daddy.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's
Petito Papi. Yeah.
Sure, yes.
No good.
Yes, good. French.
It's no good.
Yeah.
Oh, Joel on YouTube says, I'm so distracted. I saw the dog come up to Collin to be petted. I hope that isn't
Sorry.
the biting dog or Collin is going to have some sore balls.
Nah, Joel.
It is the biting dog. This is the cute, cuddly one.
She bites when people first come in, and then she's really nice. The other one, he's more like he's like an old dog now, so he just kind of hangs out. But he'll bite you if you try to pet him.
Joel, do you think, and I'm talking directly to you, do you think if this dog bit me and that, like, I would still be here talking about this guy calling someone daddy? Like, I just, like, I had the composure to get bit.
Yeah.
And then be like, you know what? For the podcast, I'm going to let this slide.
He's just a total Caesar Milan.
Right,
He's just, ooh, I got nipped on the hand. Anyway, the way I think you should deal with it.
Absolute professional. Absolute professional.
Stone face, killer man, poker face the whole goddamn time.
The podcast must go on.
Yeah, I'm all about the show.
Joel on YouTube says, if the new boyfriend is that much younger than the ex, why doesn't she just call the boyfriend brother? Simple solution. Especially in Hulk Hogan's voice. Give it to me, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something they can try. It's like I can call you daddy in a different voice, you know?
Uh-huh.
You do like the Elizabeth Holmes daddy.
Yeah.
You know, you can be daddy.
Give it to me, daddy.
Yeah.
Fuck me harder than I fucked investors all around the world.
Yeah.
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 All right,
Absolutely.
not that I'm a fly on the wall to anyone else having like sex or anything, but who calls anyone daddy? It's such a weird thing that I see circles like
It's kinda
he
weird,
wanted
yeah.
her to call her daddy. She used to call her ex daddy. Then the ex says, "Hey, have fun calling the daddy." Like, who? I just thought daddy was not like a thing people said anymore. That's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I
feel like
actually agree with you. I think we got to cut out. I think we have gotten a little too, like, anything goes. There's enough pressure. You know what I mean? We got to stop. Let's get back to basics. You know, I would say no names, no nicknames, as little talking as you can do. You know what I mean? Everyone just stay focused on the mission.
Yeah.
I think that's the most, you know.
Right.
Let's just ease up a little bit.
Now, that does not count if you're Spanish and you're saying mommy and papi. That's kind of cool, man. Like, Spanish women can say papi and it sounds fucking cool. Like, I used to live in Washington Heights. You go and get, I don't care, man, just lunch from a place. And it's like, oh, hey, papi, what you want? And it's like, it works out of them. Like when anybody else tries it, it's not hot, man. It's kind of weird.
I might start saying it.
How many people have you tried that with, Jake?
Me? Oh, I don't call anyone Poppy. What are you talking about? Well, it definitely doesn't.
Also, when you say Poppy, it sounds like you're talking about like your Irish American grandfather. So it's like doesn't even. It just sounds like you're talking.
Fuck me like me Poppy done. I had a terrible, terrible childhood when I was a wee one. No, I can't say it because it's like a Spanish guy can sound cool saying like mommy, you know, but like if I say it, I'm like, yeah, mommy. Yeah. I give off a very Jason Bates and Psycho kind of.
And I get called
vibe,
mommy
you know?
by like it can make you. You're like, wow, I'm blushing, and that's what do I think about that? You know,
yeah,
like it's effective.
Yeah,
but,
if a Spanish guy does
from
it,
certain people,
if a white guy does it, it's creepy. It's like, oh, he wants to wear my face as a mask.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very Norman Bates.
So
Norman Bates. I couldn't
There we
remember.
go. Yeah, Norman Bates.
Do we even have a solution for this? I don't know if there is a solution for this one. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say the solution is. So was this a girl that wrote this, or
Yeah.
so about her boyfriend and her ex-boyfriend? I would say just like try to be better at being like a normal girlfriend. Like, one, stop talking to your ex if you see him, and two, just don't be so weird.
That is damn good advice. That is damn good final advice from Collin. Joel on YouTube says the ex saying that in front of the current boyfriend at the gas station was just plain rude. He should have paid for their gas as a peace offering.
Yes.
He says, yes, you'd have stayed with punctured balls because you're a professional.
That would be directed to me.
I think it's as an older comment. It's talking about the dog bite, the possible dog bite. Joel says, obviously Jake hasn't shared his Pornhub search with Amy. Joanne says, LOL on YouTube. Hello, Joanne. Tim on YouTube says, just go back to harder, faster. Yeah, man, that's kind of what,
Stick to the hits.
The best, yeah.
There's a reason why they're hits.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
If
just
it's not
like Collin
in a
was saying.
Daft Punk song, don't say it.
Yeah.
Right.
Stronger, faster.
There you go.
That's,
If it's not in a Daft Punk song, don't say it. That's a damn good. Is that your final advice? Just go with the Daft Punk song.
Final advice. Yes.
I mean,
Only Daft
yes.
Punk lyrics in bed.
Everything I need in bed, I learned from listening to Daft Punk lyrics.
Yes.
100%.
I just think just let it blow over. He's gonna get over it, right? Or give him
Just avoid it.
avoid it.
I hope that guy holds a grudge. I hope in 2 years he's just like, oh, remember that time when I want this to just upset everything.
Oh yeah, dude, he's not gonna live this down, man. He got totally fucking just emasculated by this guy, man. Like that sucks.
And in the meantime, while he's like stewing and finally getting over it on his own, you need to come up with the most amazing daddy word. I don't know get me, king. Come on,
it
master.
sucks.
I don't think I could keep a straight face. Like if a woman said any of these things to me, I'd be like, you have to stop.
Yeah,
like this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, but she has to do it. She has to commit.
Yeah,
she has to like one of Henry VIII's wives in The Tudor. She's got to she's got to bend over and call him Your Majesty the whole time, and not crack a smile. Like it sucks. Like. It was the guy requested it, and I get why you don't want to do it. That's a creepy fucking thing, but it's like, and then you ran into you were dumb enough to say hi to your ex, which first of all, like, look, I mean, and I got two pieces of advice.
She had to have known that he was a loose cannon.
She's a moron. This lady's a fucking moron.
If you say hi to your ex, you have to know. You know if they're going to be cool or not be cool. If they're a loose cannon or not. You know?
She's a dummy, dude. And you know what I was saying about the 36-year-old guys that like to date long term, the 19-year-olds. Also, the 19-year-old's got a few fucking screws loose too. It's not like there's any normal piece of the equation there. Yeah. Again, a once or twice fuck because they're kind of hot at the bar or whatever. Like. Fine. You know what I mean? Like, fine. But I'm moving in with somebody old enough to be my dad. Like, what are you doing? Stop. Like, he's creepy. She's dumb. It's sort of a match made in hell. Of course she's going to be weird with the next guy. But here's the thing about dating people that are way older or way younger, like whatever, to where it's not really the most age appropriate. Hey, lots of people do it, but here's a good tip for your next relationship if it's with somebody who's age appropriate, especially if you're young, like early 20s and stuff. Just don't tell them about it. Yeah. They don't need to know that.
Do what everybody does and lie.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes.
We have to get back to lying.
You have to fucking lie about this one.
What I don't understand was, like, why in that moment she just stayed silent? I would have been like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I would have just, like, lied.
Like, who are you?
Yeah.
She should have said, oh, my God, who are you? Stop. We don't know you.
You're like, I would have just lied to her. I never did that. I never called him that.
Daddy, stay away. Daddy, shit.
Joel on YouTube says, that doesn't work. At Tim on YouTube, I was with a girl after a show and she said deeper, deeper. I got pissed and replied, you don't hear me saying tighter, tighter. Tim on YouTube says Daft Punk does have a track called Teachers, but the context doesn't match.
Yet. You never know.
I mean,
creative.
Yeah, I guess okay, she's got to do like one of two things, right? Either A, now you gotta you now gotta call him daddy, I guess, but like you have to make it even crazier. You know what I mean? Like maybe make him smoke the whole carton. Make him get sick of it. Like he wants you to call him daddy. Next time he comes home, you're dressed like that leather guy in Pulp Fiction. And you're just like, grandfather, you got the orange ball gag in your mouth. He's like, dude, this is way too into this whole BDSM thing, man. Like, I don't know what to do about this, or it's like, what you can do, I guess I wish I would have started with this piece of advice. I couldn't remember at the time because it's less funny and it's more serious. It's like you tell him, well, like, look, you see what a piece of shit that guy was, right? He wanted me to call him daddy, which, look, I was a dumb 19-year-old sleeping with someone old enough to be my dad. That was dumb. It was a mistake. This guy was a piece of shit. The reason I don't want to call you daddy is I now finally have an age-appropriate guy who I actually love. You rock. He sucks. Also, his cock was real small. Just throw that in there.
Yeah.
Make sure to throw that in there. Is you gotta say, hey, man, daddy reminds me of that fucking guy, and he sucks. The last thing you want me thinking about is that guy, and the last thing I want to be thinking about is that guy. Also, not only was it little, it like cooked, like not that nice little curve, but I'm talking like it looked like a baby Nike Swish.
I think I'm still a virgin, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Luckily, I didn't have a hymen. Otherwise, it'd still be there after 5 years of living with this fucking dude. You know what I mean? Just the side of it that curves up into it would just bounce like a damn bouncy castle.
You could have saved such a fight had you just been there that day.
Dude.
You know how they say, what stops a bad guy with a gun, a good guy? This is a very similar situation, but except what stops a bad run-in with your ex-boyfriend who you call daddy? Jake.
A motherfucking love guru. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
right.
Or she might just need a therapist. This is two guys who have asked her to call her daddy. So
Sure.
I think it's time to talk to her.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Also,
Yeah.
would have also it's funny, it would have also stopped the situation is a gun. You know what I mean? Like if they
Right.
like if that lady would just pulled a gun out and been like, "Get away from me," there would have
Sure.
been so much more to talk about. Been like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I didn't know we've been dating for a little bit. I didn't know you had a gun in your purse. Also,
We're at a
you
gas
know,
station.
we're at a gas station. You
Careful.
pulled a gun out. You
Dude,
know,
I'll bet she would have done it. This lady likes drama. She likes drama. That's why she's like dumb enough to tell her current. What are the ages on this one again? It's like
39 and 19.
No. It was. She's 28. He's 27. Yeah. Why are you even telling that guy that? Oh, when I was 19, I lived with this 36-year-old. Now he's some fucking weird dude in his 40s and shit. You know what I mean? Like, why are you even telling him that? Because you want to make it an issue. You want to stir the pot. Oh, I
Late
see him at a
40s.
gas station. I better go talk to him. Like, no, you're a shit star. You know.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe just try to get them around each other again, and maybe one of them will kill the other, and you'll be able to tell your next boyfriend why your first boyfriend was murdered by your second boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you know, you'll probably make that guy crazy too. I
That
don't
sounds
know.
like great final advice.
It's awesome final advice.
Wish her the best.
Joel on YouTube says, as a musician that at 36 was dating an 18-year-old the past couple of minutes, I haven't been able to hear.
Joel, stop trying to.
He
flex,
says she
dude.
never called me daddy either.
Liar.
But that's the thing is,
Yeah.
dude, but that's the thing of like, I'm a musician and I'm just kind of sleeping with a 19-year-old a few times after a gig, like whatever, man. Like young groupies is one thing. Young long-term girlfriend that you're making call you daddy.
Unless
like,
that's-
Musician, there's a precedent.
Unless
with
that's
musician.
Billy
That's
Joel, it's not what we think. You know, I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
Billy Joel gets so much young pussy. That piano man, you know?
Yes.
Plays those keys.
Yeah, it's at the end of Piano Man, you know, like the long live version. It's all
Really?
about getting women to call him daddy that are young
Daddy,
enough to
call
be
me
his
daddy, call me
grandfather.
daddy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll just say it.
I'm starting to feel like what's it called, vertigo, because I'm hearing daddy way too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking gross, man. It's a weird nickname.
As
It's
someone with
you know,
a baby, yeah, it must be a little bit
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
to constantly hear, yeah.
I'm down with that.
My baby's gonna come out and be like,
Yeah.
oh daddy. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
not that
Never
daddy,
gonna
not
call
that
him,
one,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, I've never had a woman call me daddy, but once in bed, a lady did call me Uncle Jesse, and then I was like, what the fuck? What happened?
Stop it.
And then she started screaming and scratching herself. So I don't know what that was about. I don't think it was a nickname.
She killed Bob Saget.
She
No,
killed Bob Saget.
I'm going Full House with that. I just thought of Full House. That's all, I don't know.
She invented the Moderna boosters to take out Bob Saget.
Suzanne, where is she?
Get her, Suzanne. Put it on 16 chan. Make it so. Anyway, I think we answered that question.
Yep.
Let's take our next question on the Love Gurus podcast from the Wild Animals on Reddit. You guys, if you are watching or listening later, definitely listen live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. If you have a question to write it to loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com. But for right now, we are going to take our next question from the Wildles. The Wildles.
No, the wild.
The Wildles. I went full Elizabeth Holmes. The Wildles.
one drop?
I need one drop. I talk like this because people take me more. It's like you sound like a cartoon character. No one's gonna take you more seriously. Anyway, next question from the Wild Animals on Reddit. I want to push back my marriage because my fiance is not over his ex.
Maybe not get married. Not push it back. How about just not date someone else? Start a new relationship. End this one.
I, 24-year-old female, want to push back my marriage with my fiance, 26-year-old male, because he is not over his ex.
Because you're too young, both of you. Both of you are way too young.
We've been together for about a year and a half. It started a few months ago when I asked him to send over our pictures. Our pictures from a vacation we took together, and he asked me to get them from his phone myself. I did that, but I caught a glimpse of an album titled The Name of His Ex.
Ooh, an album. That's a lot.
And wouldn't you call it something else, dummy?
True.
Wow.
Is
Jesus.
this the dumbest guy that's ever lived? To
fucking
be like,
stupid.
grab my phone.
Yeah.
Go get my phone. It's unlocked. Oh, you don't know the password? Let me program your face into it. You idiot.
Here's my secret
my
folder with all
God.
my sex.
You
sex
stupid
girls.
moron.
Yeah, dude, even the Wile E. Coyote is listening to this thinking you're a fucking sucker, man.
Yeah.
You suck, buddy. He had been with her for a few years and proposed, but things went bad between them and they broke things off. The album is full of love letters, pictures of them together, pictures of just her. I talked to him about it and he said he's still not over her, and come to find out she reached out to him after being no contact since they...
Yeah, you know why?
Break up.
Because you two have only been together a year and a half.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
This is way too...
I expressed how this made me feel, and he kind of ignored this and continued to talk about her for closure, I guess. I talked to him later about this as well and said I don't want to marry him if he isn't over her. Should I just approach this in a different way? What should I do?
Yeah, the approach should be from a distance, like where you're not so far you're not together. That's how far away
Yeah,
you
this
should
is pretty
be.
rough, man.
Yeah.
Dude, rough. It's rough because she is asking for advice. I'm like, the answer is clear as day. You run. You get out of there.
Yeah.
You're 24. Come to New York. Try and make it as an actress. Then when you're 40, cry. Okay?
Yeah. I think it's weird. There was no mention of nudes. No nude. Like,
I
what?
I was,
Like,
I,
there had to
I
be
was going to mention that
nudes.
as well.
How are there? That's why I'm like,
There
this
had to
If
guy-
anything, I think it's it not creepier, but like worse for her that it's just.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought like
It's like still emotional.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or it could
if
have
it's
been
like
like
I just like to spank it. Like, all right, it ain't great, but like it, yeah.
Yeah, that's the creepy thing. It's like just like cute photos of them on like at lunch or something.
Yeah.
Like that's sick.
That means he's
Or-
still into her.
Or
like,
there was,
Yeah.
and she's
That's
trying to be.
pornographic.
I could see there was, and then she's just trying to be the
Nah,
adult, like
nah.
saving face.
No adults on
I-
Reddit. I don't care if they're
I-
in their early 90s.
I think that this dude is still deep in love with his ex.
He wanted to get caught too.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, to be like, go grab my. That's like rule number one.
Yeah.
Is like just keep that tight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
keep
dude.
that.
What are you doing?
People were like, "Oh, you're on your phone all the time." Yeah, you know why? So you're not on it. That's why I'm on my phone.
Yeah,
all of
she
the time.
caught you slipping. You were like a detective for the other fucking side, dude.
Right,
Like
yeah.
you did your own detective work, like for her.
And it's just gonna get progressively worse if she stays with this guy. He's gonna be like, "Hey, go get my phone so we can make reservations." Just open the phone. It's just gonna be a picture of the ex's like bleached asshole. I'm just so confused. Don't know what to think.
He's trying. What he's trying to do is end this relationship without ending it. You know what I mean? He's looking for. He's just gonna start calling her the other girl's name just around the house. But Sarah,
Yeah.
sorry, I mean Jennifer.
He's gonna kneel down and open up a box, but instead of a wedding ring, it's a locket of the other lady's hair. He's like, "Oh shit, wrong box that I always have in my pocket." There you go.
Yeah,
Will you marry me?
I'm not gonna.
I feel like this is a short one. It's
Yeah.
just like I don't know what to tell her except love hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything after that line. Love.
It's a pretty
hurts.
rough one, man.
You're
Oh,
also
scars.
like young enough to where you're like, yeah, in 2 months you'll be in love with somebody else, and
right? Yeah,
and you'll
yeah.
want to
You're
marry
in, like,
them.
Your early 20s.
You know,
This
yeah,
isn't,
like,
you know.
Yeah, also to create an album, that takes work in your phone of like
Long-
move
yeah.
to,
Right.
select the photo, move to. Like that's a
Yeah.
lot of work.
it's multiple
Yeah.
clicks.
Yes, it's a lot of clicks, and he was dumb enough to do all those clicks and not do a couple more clicks that says literally anything
Yeah.
other than my ex's
Right.
name.
Work.
Yeah.
Boring stuff.
Yeah. Favorite Joe Rogan quotes. Just
Yeah,
name it
right,
something
yes.
women will stay out of, you
Yes,
know?
exactly.
Yeah, even that would be
Sure,
that would be better. Even that would be better, you know? Spider-Man comics, you know, just something women are not going to give a fuck about.
Honey, could you get the reservations out of the Spider-Man comic?
Right.
Right, yeah. And then he'd tell her to get reservations out of that exact same thing because he's so fucking dumb, dude. He's so fucking dumb.
So confused.
This guy's an idiot. He really is. This is the
Yeah.
reason why we're like, when we're like, yeah, all guys, people are like, guys are just dumb. That's because guys like this. And you're like, well, we can't
Yeah, dude.
fight that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? There is no disputing that this guy's a moron.
Yeah, you hear that, bro? You are out there enforcing very hurtful stereotypes against the male community, man.
And then the women you're with are just projecting the other stereotype of completely like, he'll change for me.
Yeah.
I will fix it.
Uh-huh. She's like, I can make him both faithful and smart.
Actually,
you'll do neither. You'll do neither.
You've made some good points. You two should stay together because you cannot go and ruin anybody else's life. Stay together and make it work and just be a stereotypical tragic couple and don't spread this.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have it's like COVID. You want to keep it in your bubble. You know, we need to keep these stupid people together.
If only there was a vaccine to stop whatever the hell's wrong with these two.
Right.
You know?
See,
but science isn't there yet.
And Suzanne would be out there railing against
Yeah,
it.
Suzanne would be like, fuck that. You want to know where that stupid vaccine really came from?
Right.
Do your research or you like it.
So anytime that I've been cheated
Came from
on,
a pizza parlor. Let's get them.
see, anytime I've been cheated on or heard like my friend getting cheated on, it's the thing that drives me up the wall is if the person is just stupid about it, like they wanted to get caught. So that just seems more of a slap in the face. I'm like, you didn't even try to hide.
Yeah.
You know, that's where it's like either you're that dumb or So that's where it gets me, the most. That's like more of a gudgeler.
I just got like so sad for you. They got cheated on. Like, I'm like, that's so fucking
Love hurts.
You just like really don't deserve that.
Yeah.
If you're a woman and got cheated on, you don't deserve it at all.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm disturbed about how dumb this guy is than about the fact that he's clearly still not over his ex. Because, hey, to be fair, it doesn't even seem like he's cheating with his ex, you know?
Yeah.
We didn't even find any nude photos in there, which I believe she would have said.
Immediately.
Because it would have, man,
that's priority number one
if
you're complaining.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Right.
That would have been in there. She'd have been pissed. It would have gone on the list. This is her, like sort of, this is the side she's pushing is, hey, look at how fucked up this is, what this guy's doing. So it's like,
wow.
Just throw it
troubles with
anywhere.
that cap? You having trouble with the Gatorade
Just
lid?
honestly, I might just throw my
Just
line.
leave it.
I'm
It's
gonna
a
throw my
lid.
glass.
We don't need it.
It's fine.
It's the baby.
Did you get bit by a dog? What happened? Who got bit?
She got bit by a Wuhan bat.
This baby makes me really clumsy. I can't.
Well, luckily, I mean, Roe v. Wade ain't going to affect New York. You know what I mean? So if you get tired enough of that goddamn baby, you can tell that baby what the hell he can do with that Gatorade cap, you know? Third term. They'll let you do it till the fourth term in New York.
No problem.
I don't give a shit.
No problem.
It's the opposite of Handmaid's Tales. It's Hunger Games, all right? They don't give a shit about the kids here. Anyway, Joel on YouTube says, I stopped mid-stroke. Oh, this is an older comment. I think this is still referring to the last one. He said, I stopped mid-stroke and refused to continue until my wife called me Spartacus.
That's a great name. See?
Fuck yeah, dude.
You need to get a better name than just
yeah,
Daddy.
but then Bubba the Love Sponge popped out of the closet with the camera going, I'm Spartacus. And it was like a whole thing, you know? Joel on YouTube says, the second question can be answered with 2 words. Move on.
Yeah.
Tim on YouTube says, I was thinking sabotage and she should dip out. Yeah. Mike on YouTube says, if he doesn't stop talking about his ex, you should just keep talking about your future fiance. Fucking A.
Yes.
100%.
Yes,
Good one, Mike.
Yeah. You just start putting up like vision boards with guys who have like awesome jobs, huge wallets, even bigger dicks, and like a 6-pack or something.
Yes. Tall.
Uh-huh.
Tall.
Just start being like the next one. Just keep the next one's gonna be so much better.
Yeah, it's you have an album called My Future Fiance, and it's pictures of him, but all of them have the faces just blurred out.
Yeah.
It's like literally anyone else. Doesn't even have to be perfect.
Send to album.
Yep. 100%. Tell him to go make us reservations for what? Doesn't matter. Just get in my phone and start rooting around. Say what you find, buddy.
So, hun, how are you today? What? Oh, me? No, the hun I'm visualizing. I don't know.
You just have like an imaginary
yeah,
fiance
just like
in the house.
yeah,
That's
just
really
like,
funny.
hey, sweetheart, like just start acting like how you would act towards like your future.
Yeah.
This is how I would treat you if.
Yeah, it sucks, dude, because I can't even really be that mad at this guy because it doesn't seem like he's pursuing.
I can.
I mean, not like mad though. Like I definitely dislike him because he's dumb And like you definitely shouldn't be with him because he's clearly obsessed with his ex. But like, it doesn't seem like he's acting on it. Really, it just seems like he's just has this fucking mental fixation that after a year and a half, he's like not going to get over. You know, so you got to just move on. It's not even necessarily his fault, man. Like it's sort of a tragic situation for both of them.
I feel like Caitlin and I are on the same wavelength. I don't know what you're talking about, Jake.
Well, I'm saying he didn't like cheat on her. He just had this stupid thing where he's like obsessed with this other lady, but like. Hey man, he can't help that. You just can't be around that.
Yeah,
you know?
can. He shouldn't He shouldn't have proposed to this girl that he's with.
You're right. That was pretty fucking.
Now, did he propose, or is it?
Yeah.
He says that they've.
Though?
I mean, you know, unless he's. I mean, it's maybe in 5 years it's probably going to be a law.
You're like,
I mean,
you're already like, all girls are psycho. Did he really propose, or did
maybe
she?
She proposed. You know?
I asked him, and again, they leave out details. That's important, but yeah, I'm going to assume unless the guy probably proposed, but I'm just looking. Let's see, they've been together for about a year and a half, man. So yeah, that's a long time. If he's not over by now. Joanne on YouTube says. Sex scheduled on the calendar ahead of time. Wait a minute, I'm out of town that day. What the fuck? 25th of May. I'm in Cincinnati the 25th of May. That's 7 states away, you whore.
She's just like fucking a ghost in the corner. I'm busy. Later.
He comes back. He comes home from work early. She's doing pottery and listening to Unchained Melody by the Righteous Brothers. And she's like, I don't even need the guy to be in this universe to cheat on you. Even dead guys are better in bed than you. Even ghosts are better. Squirt that ectoplasm in my face, Patrick Swayze.
She gets like the Demi Moore pixie cut.
Yeah. She's like, I'll take the ghost of Patrick Swayze now. Like, you know, when he was in his 60s. I don't give a shit.
R.I.P.
Joanne on YouTube says, wait, if his ex were someone special, would it be different? No. It fucking sucks for this lady, man. Joel
I really
on YouTube
think there's
says
something sinister about making an album of pictures of like your girlfriend just like at a wedding reception. Like there's really something sinister.
Yeah,
about
it's
that,
pretty weird,
you know?
man. The only excuse would be like I made that while we were dating and legit forgot it was there, but then
delete it, right?
Yeah, man, that would be the only fucking reason. But
it says yesterday.
Right, yeah. If there's any kind of timestamp that can do, which I'm sure he's dumb enough not to fucking do.
It's also like when you break up with someone, usually the first thing you do is like delete everything, you know, and like, so this guy's been out of a relationship for a year and a half, you know, I mean, he's been out of at least a year and a half. He's been with his new girl, right?
Yeah.
So that's
long
enough time, dude.
Long time.
That's enough time to move things around.
And the fact that she contacted him, it's like, yeah, man, like he's still definitely into her. And again, if his, I think that excuse of well, that's been there for a year and a half, and I didn't even realize it was there. Like he would have said that immediately if that was the truth. Yeah, you know, that would have ended.
No, he had like an hour-long conversation how he's still not over her. Which
that's right. Yeah,
that crunches my stomach even more. That's why she needs to get out.
You don't want a Camilla Parker Bowles or whatever.
I mean,
you know what I mean. You don't want a Camilla Parker.
What more do you need for someone to say? I'm not over this person. Okay, so then you're not. Well, then we're not together.
But you know, like he's probably sitting there crying over her, and you're consoling him. Like those tears should be for you, not for.
Yeah, just get out.
See, Joel on YouTube says we tried that at Joanne on YouTube. And by the way, on the YouTube thing, if you guys are actually watching on YouTube, this is for like the people listening on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that stuff. Otherwise, it just sounds like I'm talking to invisible people that aren't here, and it gets schizo as fuck, man. Yeah. Joel on YouTube says we tried that, but it didn't work out. I didn't have my wife's name on it, and she didn't have mine. I missed one.
The whole scheduling sex thing.
Oh, the scheduling sex thing.
Yeah, so they were having sex with other people, and it just
it was sort of like that Pina Colada song, but they just fucked other people. You know, they didn't hook up at the end. Joanne on YouTube says, like if it were someone like Beyonce. I think it should be allowed. She says, "Come on, Beyonce, I get it." Joanne on YouTube says, "If my ex were Sullenberg, I wouldn't probably ever shut up about his story.
Yo, that
maybe
is
not
so
him,
specific,
but you get it.
Wow.
Joanne. That is so specific.
Yeah.
You cannot back out now, Joanne. You clearly
Wait,
have a thing
Sully-
for Sully
Or
Sullenberg.
is it Tom Hanks as
Yeah,
Sully
dude, I was gonna say, it's gotta be
Sullenberg,
Tom Hanks
or is
playing
it-
that guy.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know, Joanne.
She didn't say Tom Hanks as. She
That's
did
such
just
a
say
weird
Sully
reference,
Sullenberg.
Sully.
Yeah,
Doesn't- you don't
Sully.
just don't pull that off the top of your head.
That's weird.
I
You
feel
know?
like
She
I feel
definitely slept with.
I feel like we're attacking her. I don't
He
want
may-
you know. It's
Sully
like,
has to be like at least 80
we've
now,
all got
right?
our like horny movie. Like I really
Right.
like like in what's the one with Madonna? Sully, Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yeah.
She dates this like projectionist in the 80s, and like that's my Sully
Yeah.
Sullenberg. So if that makes any sense,
You're so hot, Sully. I'll tell you where you can crash land that big straight thing.
Where's your landing strip? Come on.
I've got a landing strip right here. I'll bring it to the Hudson for you.
God. Do people still do landing strips? Do women
I
still?
hope not.
I mean, I got one right now.
Airports definitely still have them. I've been to enough airports to know they
I
do.
like the ones that curve around.
Yeah, landing strip. I don't think they're ever going to come back, man. I think that's going to be just a thing that like millennials like our age are going to be like, they're going to be the old lady in the movie Titanic. Like, he was a young man and I had what was known as a landing strip. You know, it's just, it's
And
it's
could
never
you
going to
imagine
be.
how much more interesting Titanic would have been if they would have said that? I mean, that would have been awesome.
That landing strip is the reason that cavemen used to make airport paintings on walls.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it would have been weird.
Yeah. They're just in like 90s movies. You see the landing strip.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
the flash of it.
It was kind of it was just it was a niche style. It was a pubic hairstyle that was it was not timeless. It was a moment in time. It was the Jinko jeans of pubes. It really was.
It's
the
weird.
timeline kind of adds up
If
too.
you think about it, the Bush survived all the way until the 70s, and it wasn't until like maybe even 80s. That's a long time to survive. And the
Yeah.
landing strip only survived maybe early 90s.
People don't even survive that long.
That's true.
You know?
But I mean,
For hundreds of thousands of years, man was okay with women with bushes.
No, but
but then
yeah.
the 90s happened.
Even in Basic Instinct, right? You
Yeah.
see like
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much full.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I
Pretty
mean,
much that's, like-
70s they're full Bush, right?
Oh yeah, 70s, 80s, even
Yeah,
early
80s,
90s. You know.
Okay.
I'm a
Yeah.
porneologist, man, and it really was porn that kind of led the way with the pubic hair thing.
Plus, but foreign films have always been full bush. If you watch a foreign film,
Yeah.
any like you're there,
Even
just-
now?
Yeah.
even I think so. If there's some
Okay.
vagina in like a Spanish.
If there
It's-
happens to be
yeah.
vagina in a porno
I don't
in
know.
Europe,
Oh
I don't
Christ, they
know.
still got foreskins over there. They definitely got bushes. Are you kidding me?
I'm being general. Yeah.
That's like a man's skin bush that they that they have on there.
They're just
they're
so
still down
much
with it.
more open.
But did we have any final advice for this lady?
Nah, get out.
I would say try a landing strip and see how it goes. See if that can
Yeah.
save your relationship. Land that plane, girl.
Yeah,
Do
it's that could be the thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's he's into something very specific, and he's gonna take one look at that landing strip, and he is gonna just dive bomb onto that
Delete
thing.
that album.
You know,
Delete that album.
just
Yeah.
crashing onto it like a kamikaze pilot crashing into the landing strip. It's gonna make him forget all about that ex of
Yeah,
his.
I say, if you don't have enough nerve to get out of this relationship, please follow Mike and Joanne's advice. Just fuck with him as hard as possible, please, please.
Yeah. That could be fun too, man. Like, and it's such because
I want to leave, but I do want to have a good time. Come on.
dude, like I
Right.
almost
It's
don't.
like put your 2 weeks in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give it 2 weeks to really mess with his head and then get out. You know?
I like that.
It sucks, man, because I really was feeling bad about this guy for a while, but then you convinced me by the, hey, well, then he shouldn't have fucking proposed. And yeah, that's right, man. If he was this obsessed, he shouldn't have proposed. But so now I'm like, yeah, fuck with her, man. Fuck. Like, he's dumb enough to not have deleted it, right? So you go in there at night while he's asleep. You find every photo you can. You get the same outfits and everything, and you just fucking wake him up wearing only the blouse and not the bottoms, and go, I'm Linda. Fuck me, I'm Linda. And you're eating the same thing. You've brought the meal to go from the brunch picture, and you're now eating it. Fuck me like you did after we had this thing at the seafood place on Sunday.
I love that your female voice is like an evil genius voice.
Yeah, she's raspy. That's as feminine as my voice goes. Now that it's becoming raspy.
She's a smoker.
Yeah. I like long walks on beaches, Marlboro 100s, and dick.
I'm gonna make you forget her. Be a good girl. Get Grandma her Virginia Slims.
I was the first one in my city to have a landing strip. It was in the early 60s. They said it would never catch on, Linda. Who the fuck was laughing in the late 90s? To be fair, they were laughing again by about 2010. It went out, but like I was hot for a while.
My
there.
pubes are in museums.
It belongs in a museum. Just ask Harrison fucking Ford.
Real
He
quick,
loved it.
real quick before we move on, which I feel like we need to move on, but I hate that she said, should I postpone my wedding? Not should I get away from this guy?
Yeah, it sucks, man. I really
she's
feel
like,
bad for her.
should I leave him? No, she just says,
Yeah.
should I postpone the wedding?
Dude, she really likes this guy. She was going to marry him, and even after this, she's like, hey, how can I fix this? Even though it's unfixable, man.
Everyone
I don't know
likes
what...
everyone at 24. That's all I can say. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You'll find someone else.
But unfortunately, at 24, no one really likes you back.
I'm
you know?
really grateful. I'm really grateful. I was like very lonely in my 20s.
Yeah.
I didn't meet my boyfriend until I was like 30.
See that?
I'm
Not
so
these
grateful.
people. They were. Oh, please, cursed monkey paw, give me someone I love.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, they're pining over pictures of some lady with a big stupid landing strip, and it's just not good. Joel on YouTube says, it's a not sign, and then Bush. I prefer to floss after I eat, not while. Joel on YouTube, or Joanne on YouTube says, Sully's a goddamn hero. That's right.
That's the most offensive thing she's heard tonight. Of all the things that have been said, Joanne, the bone she has to pick is that we've disparaged Sully Sullenberg.
He saved
Now-
28 people.
Now, you're right. Sully's a hero, but you know who I think is a bigger hero? The thousands of pilots that didn't crash a fucking plane that day, that stayed in the sky. That's who I'm going to go blow, is the pilots who didn't crash.
In all defense of Sully did not crash his plane that day, okay?
You crashed it into the Hudson.
He glided into the Hudson.
All right. I apologize. Let me rephrase. All the pilots who landed on solid ground and not dirty in between New York and New Jersey river water.
Right.
Those are the pilots who are heroes.
If you land in the Hudson and you have to get wet, it's like, I wish you would have taken it into a field.
Yeah, dude.
I'd rather be dead.
I would rather burn
You guys-
alive in coach.
I have so much
Then-
anxiety right now because now that you guys are like cursing Sully, I feel like we're all going to be in plane crashes. This is like horrible. I'm like never going to. I was like, as soon as I go down to my plane, I'm like, why can't I land in the Hudson?
If you're gonna go into the Hudson, it's like, I'd rather be on a memorial wall somewhere than get wet in this water. You know,
It's
People
rained
ride
out.
jet skis in the Hudson. I like
Oh,
walk from where I work. I
They're
can
psychotic.
see them. They
They're
recreate.
psychotic.
So
yeah,
gross.
it's
I
crazy.
would rather eat a raw pigeon in this city than
Wow.
jet ski in the Hudson. That's fucking disgusting.
No, people
Tune in
are
next week.
recreating in the Hudson.
We're gonna start a Patreon just to have that happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you the option. Yeah.
You're gonna, Colin's
Sign
gonna
up
show
now.
up painted like Jigsaw. I want to play a game.
Right, yeah.
Can I just say something really
To
quick?
the left of you.
If my memory is correct, the reason why he landed in the Hudson was because he called in and he said, my engines just blew out. I need to land the plane back on to the, whatever, he was in New York or whatever he was in. And they were like, you can't right now. It's like, like who doesn't have time?
He flew into
He's
like a
like-
flock of geese or something. Like birds flew
Yeah.
into the engine and he had to
But
emergency
still,
land
the
and-
nerve of the person on the other line being like, okay, well, these planes with fully functioning engines are in your way, so you
Right.
can't land your falling plane right now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I'd move so you didn't have to crash in the Hudson, but it's like my lunch break. And I'm starving.
I
mean,
could
this
be
is an
totally
emergency.
wrong, but I know that people are like, "Oh, you can't land right now."
Yeah.
It's like,
I love that.
No.
Just typical fucking New York bureaucracy. I got to fill out 7 forms in order to move the plane. You're gonna die by the time I do all this
you
paperwork.
could just not do this. That'd make our life so much easier if we could just.
I asked my boss's boss. He asked you not to crash or land. Is that
we
a
could just stay in
possibility?
there.
Have you thought about that?
Also,
Have you thought about not crashing?
I have an unpaid lunch break, so like technically, I'm just like helping you right now, and this is like I just need to go eat.
I mean, like the delivery guy's already here. Like I know you're crashing now, but my delivery guy is crashing into my lunch hour as we speak. I mean, what's more of an emergency? You tell me. I mean, he's not going to stay there forever, and I already paid on my credit card.
It's like 911. I need my falafel.
I feel like there had to have been a moment after he did land the plane into the Hudson that someone was like, "Oh, you could have actually maybe have landed on the actual."
Yeah.
We could have probably squeezed you
I
in.
didn't pay attention to the story at all. I thought he was like drunk.
Was he?
I don't
I
know.
think-
no.
I think
no.
I don't know
Now
what
that guy
I
was
thought.
a real hero. That was Denzel Washington in Flight.
I think
and that was a
you're
true
thinking.
story
I think
too.
you're thinking of the movie Flight. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. I don't.
Yeah.
We're talking about a real plane.
Yeah, no, Joanne,
I
the
don't
guy
know.
from Flight, that's the real hero. Any asshole can crash into water dead sober. This guy had to flip it upside down, and they woke him up in a blackout nap when he'd gone on a coked out bender all night long. He had been doing lines off of a stewardess's ass and slamming shots all night and all morning long. He's sleeping in the cockpit with his eyes covered, and some stewardess wakes him up like, Denzel Washington, we're gonna crash. He's like, oh fuck, give me that shot of moonshine and strap in, and also don't pray to God. I don't believe in God. I only believe in me. And then he fucking saved it. Fuck yeah.
I love that you're confusing fictional movies with like reality.
Sorry.
No, this was reality too.
Trash.
What?
I'm trash.
Yeah, the
Is it
Denzel
based on a
Washington.
true story?
Yeah, it was based on a true story.
Sully's
Yeah.
cousin? What?
No, Denzel Washington, he was the real hero, whoever he was in real life, and we don't know his name because there is no justice in this world. No. Okay, that guy, he actually ended up going to jail for flying a plane drunk. And here's the thing, they had a bunch of sober pilots try to test what he did.
Couldn't do it.
And they couldn't do it, those
Damn.
sober punks. Because flying a plane is like darts and pool. You're better if you're a little fucked up. That guy knew it. And the government, those puritanical bastards couldn't understand it. They're like, no, we're going to persecute this man for flying drunk, even though he saved the day, because this is the Handmaid's Tale. You know,
Again,
this is Sharia law. This
conversation
is
making
crazy.
me
Anxious.
This whole conversation making me anxious. Can we move on?
Yeah. Joel on YouTube says, I grew up outside outside of Flint, Michigan. I take the Hudson over the Flint River any and every day. Mike on YouTube says, save 28 people, murdered 1,000 birds. PETA hates Sully. I wish you would have driven that thing to the bottom of the Hudson. You murderer. Joel on YouTube says, the birds have filed a civil suit. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think we answered that question. The lady from the question should leave this guy for Captain Sully, or even better, the guy that Denzel Washington portrayed in Flight.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I
Be
say.
the prison pen pal.
Yeah, fucking A. If Manson can marry a lady in prison, Denzel Washington's character should be
No
able to
problem
as
at
well.
all. We can
Did
set
he
that
really?
up.
Did Manson marry that?
Yeah.
That last
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Yeah. No, that's the move, though. That's the move. You know, because Manson died of old age. But now forever, that lady's parents, any guy she brings home, they're going to be like, dude, way better than that boyfriend in your early 20s, you know?
Better
I mean,
than
that guy was a real
Manson.
piece of work,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Yeah.
well, is he a doctor? No. Is he a lawyer? No. Is he a 75-year-old serial killer with a swastika tattooed in his... Oh, well, then great.
Yeah.
He's not that. He's perfect.
Smell great,
I don't care.
kids.
I don't care what he is. Yeah. Just don't sleep with another serial killer who's old enough to be my grandfather.
Right.
Yeah. But let's take our next question on the Love Gurus podcast. I'm reading them. Shit. My girlfriend can't seem to... Let me turn this one up. My girlfriend can't seem to let a relationship I had with an older woman years ago... let go a relationship I had with an older woman years ago. Oh, it's kind of like that first one. She said, I'm 25. My girlfriend is 24. We've been together for 9 months. I had a relationship with an older woman, late 30s, when I was 19, 20. Okay. I like that he put a slash in there, like he doesn't remember.
He remembers exactly how old he was.
Well, maybe the relationship was going in between those years too.
Listen,
Like,
I was trying to pass college. I needed the A.
She was one of my mom's friends from work who would visit relatively often, and they would go out. She was kind to me. Looking back, she never did anything inappropriate.
What does she was kind to me mean?
I mean, she sucked his dick for one. That was pretty nice of her, and it wasn't inappropriate because it's a
she was
teenage
real
dude.
Kind. She always swallowed.
They're so horny that it's like, yeah, see, like the guy in his late 30s sleeping with a 19-year-old girl, like that's creepy. Her, it's not great, but it's like it's a different wiring. It's a different wiring. It's but. Let's see. She was always kind to me. Looking back, she never did anything inappropriate. She just occasionally texted me every few months for my birthday or asked how I was. I think this is after they slept together.
I'm not
Every
sure,
few months. How often do you have a birthday? Dude, do you not know how birthdays work?
It's your birthday month after birthday month.
It says every few months for my birthday,
Hey.
or to ask how I was, or to ask.
Okay.
Okay. For my birthday, or to ask how I was. Okay, all right. He phrased that kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what is he? Is he like?
How are you on your monthly birthday?
How much older is she? Like, is she 90? Like, where she doesn't know what day it is?
I was born in 1995. I'm 87 years old. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, Mom. I mean, ma'am. I just need my car payment for my month after month birthday. Month of birthday paid for.
But I was a horny teen and started texting her for other reasons, and she was up for it. So we had a relationship for a year or so. She was single. Naturally, this came up when talking to my girlfriend about past relationships, and she hasn't taken it well. When we were first getting to know each other, she didn't care too much, but she did bring it up a few times and was very mad when the older woman sent me a happy birthday text recently. For the next few days.
Wait.
Yeah.
He's writing this question. I feel like he's just trying to brag right now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is a male version. This is probably that first question, like her brother.
He
I
was
don't know.
definitely touching himself as he wrote this.
Yeah.
Dude. He was typing with one hand, so it took him 3 times as long.
She was real
That's right.
kind. This lady was so good.
This is like a Garth Brooks song.
Yeah, Garth Brooks song. She was older, but when she got dry, she would spit on it and keep going. Yeah, it's like a
Hit.
really
One
dirty.
of his hits, yeah.
Yeah. He only does that for the late shows, For the next few days, she was really mad about the relationship and said this woman took advantage of me. I remember her that I initiated the relationship. I reminded her that I initiated the relationship, and she replied that she should have been mature enough to stop it. I guess she is right to some degree, but to me, it was an overwhelmingly positive experience, so I feel like my girlfriend is exaggerating a bit or applying a logic that doesn't really fit this situation. Then yesterday, she randomly asked me whether my mom knew, and I told her that of course she didn't. Why on earth would she? And she went on about how this woman betrayed my mom. She just won't let the subject rest. What do I do so my girlfriend finally lets this thing go for good?
In the questions, it just says GF for girlfriend. I just think he means gives 2 fucks. I don't give a fuck about her.
I will say, to what I said on the first question, I think this applies for both men and women. Like, look, if you're both in your early 20s and you've had, kind of age inappropriate, like whatever, you've dated someone way older, cool. Hey, man, more power to you, man, woman, whatever. But, like, you probably shouldn't tell your your current significant other about, like, they're not going to be that cool about it, most likely.
Right.
It's going to be a little fucking weird for them. They're going to be like,
excuse me.
We have to, I don't know when this.
Most COVID is nasally now.
Yeah.
So,
No, that's good.
the baby's
I
going to
feel
have
like-
antibodies.
No, I feel like you have to say instead of like bless you, like I don't have COVID. Sorry, it's
Right.
not
Yeah,
COVID.
yeah.
Allergies, not COVID.
I think we've gotten too honest.
Pfizer bless
you know
you.
what I mean? Like, I don't know when all this trend in honesty started with dating.
Yeah.
Like, there are just things that you should take to the grave,
Yeah, no
and this
shit.
is one of them. Like,
Yeah.
how many times have you been like, oh, I do love that movie. I've never seen it. I've never
Right.
seen the movie that I pretended to love because of
Don't
you. Once in my life. Just pretend that you have never. Next time, could you just do it on my face? Into my wine.
Let us know so we can open our mouths.
Sorry.
No one cares. No one cares.
No, sneeze wherever you need to sneeze. It's your house.
You gotta turn away
It's
from
such-
the people
it's
when
such
you
a-
sneeze. You turn it directly at
It's such a power move. I honestly respect it. I respect it. Just to be like, this is my place, and I'll sneeze wherever I want. I'm gonna start throwing parties
Like, I'm
where I
pregnant
just
and I'm gonna
people
sneeze.
come over and I just cough directly on them.
It's my party and I'll sneeze where I want
Right.
to. That kind of thing. Yeah, man. I really do feel like this is the same kind of thing where it's like, hey, like you were saying, don't tell everything about your past to your significant other if there's no reason to.
Right,
You
there's
know,
no reason.
if for some reason you think they're going to find out, if for some reason they do find out, fine. But this part where it's like everybody always says, "Oh, be yourself," till I hear something I don't like. You know, and
Right.
this falls into one of those categories. You know,
Right? Yeah, I agree. Just lock that down. You know
Yeah, I
what
feel
mean?
like instead of writing to Reddit, what should I do? He should just like write the poetry that he wants to write to this ex-girlfriend because he's clearly like so. And I can't get over him. She was so kind. Like that to me. Like what? Just write her poetry.
You're never going to
Stop.
convince your current girlfriend, who's also in her 20s, that the 40-something friend of your mom that she was sleeping with is fucking awesome. Like it's just not going to happen. Like it's not going to happen, dude.
Well, I don't think you're gonna convince any girl that like your ex was so fucking awesome.
Oh, right.
If you're bragging about like how awesome they were and in bed and like it doesn't even matter.
Unless it's Beyonce, as
Yeah,
it's been
yes,
correctly
yes,
said.
or
you know.
Sully.
Right.
Or Sully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
are two exceptions.
But I just
I know we're both in our early 20s, but I just had a crazy long affair with a married 47-year-old. But it was Sully Sullenberg. Hang on. Let me finish. It was Sully Sullenberg.
You do have to think that this lady will probably pass soon, though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's not gonna be around forever.
She's 40.
You know?
TikTok.
no, she was in her 30s.
Oh,
He was
she-
19.
He was 19.
He was
she
19, maybe 20, and she's a woman in her 30s. And I was like, that's only a 10-year difference. That's not like
Okay.
anything for a trophy.
right.
You know, that's
Yeah.
still right.
You're
she
right.
was in
Hang
her
on, let me
30s.
let me get these ages again. Let's see. 25-year-old male.
Yeah, and she
I-
said
it
when I
said-
was 19, 20.
Yeah, when I was 19, 20. Older woman in her late 30s.
Late
so
30s.
That
Okay,
worked
okay.
with his mom, right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
worked with his mom.
All right,
That
so
is-
she's definitely like 40.
that is
You
a
just hooked
horny
up-
situation.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
hooked up
Uh-huh.
with like a
15-year.
older lady at the office.
Oh, yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
You know.
Don't get me wrong. I'd high-five this dude if he told me the story.
Right.
But certainly not in front of my
If
wife.
you hear
I
this
would
at a
never,
bar,
I would,
you're
yeah.
like, nice.
Yeah. I'm
But
like, fucking
also,
hey, dude. This reads like a
never
hustler
open
letter.
your mouth again.
No,
like,
yeah.
like yeah.
We're
Stop
high-fiving.
talking.
That's an awesome story, right? Should I
Right.
go home and tell my current fiance about it? Like, absolutely not, dude.
I
I would rather tell her I was a serial killer
We have
than
to,
this story.
We have to like get out on like do like a grassroots campaign for men and dating, and just be like, you guys have to.
Well,
It's
I
so
think-
much better.
I think you're right. I think there needs to be a law that at a certain age you cannot tell your truth about dating or ex or
Yeah.
anything. Like you just can't, because I feel like, you know, when you're younger, you're always like, oh, how many people have you slept with? No, it's you know, how many.
Right.
Now when you're like at a certain age, you're just like, how many people have you slept with? Enough.
Yeah,
I
like
right.
you just
completely
go.
blocked it out. Like I couldn't even my in like self-preservation.
Yeah.
I don't even know anymore. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Yeah, you don't.
What?
You
What
don't
happened?
answer
I have
some
no
questions.
idea.
You just don't.
You just get to a certain age, you're like, are we going to be able to make this work or not?
Right.
Because we're running out of time
Yeah.
and we're running out of people.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel like most people, by the time they get to their 30s, they're smart enough just not to talk about numbers.
Yeah.
Right,
You know?
yeah.
It's just because it doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, we don't want to know.
yeah.
I know that there's been people that have been with my current, like partner, but I don't want to know about them. That's the last thing I want to know about. And like, you got to know that. It's like, hey man, err on the side about talking about your ex is too little in all situations, especially if they're twice your age, man. then really don't talk too much
And in
about
general, when you are wanting to brag, please don't brag to the person that you're sleeping with currently. Like that's not your bragging partner.
Don't you have a friend? Aren't you in a fantasy baseball league or something that you could talk to this about?
Brag to us on the Love Gurus podcast. Right. We want to hear these stories. This is an awesome fucking story to literally everybody who's not either your mother or your current girlfriend. You fucked up and told one of them. Don't tell the other.
These ladies' kids. You know, there's a small group of people you shouldn't tell this to.
Yeah, there's literally 6, 7 people, or her husband. Yeah, there's some of them. There's a small group of people on the planet you can't talk to.
Or the HR department at this office where this went down. You know,
there's 7 billion people on the earth that you can tell about this, and 7 that you can't. You fucked up and told one of the 7 out of the 7
It was
billion.
almost impossible for you to get this wrong.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know?
You could.
But you did. But you did. You know?
It's 0.0000007% of the population has a problem with it, and you only told that person.
Right.
What are you doing? Yeah. Joel on YouTube says, I slept with one of my mom's friends. Wow. Don't think she mentioned it to my mom, but I think Mom was suspicious. She dropped the friend shortly after. We'd have been together more if not for her husband. Wow. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hell. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
I thought that only happened on like Desperate Housewives, on like scripted television about women.
Dude,
like this scenario. You know?
But here's 2 reasons Joel is awesome. A, because of that he just said. And B, because he told us about that, not his wife. Right? Like, that's the fucking move. Like, she don't want to hear that story.
Right.
We want to hear that story.
Good job, Joel.
Yeah. Joel on YouTube says, my wife and I admitted how many partners that we had been with. I think it was 2 days before she talked to me again. Right.
Wow, Joel.
Joel's
got a history.
Joel fucks, bro. Joel fucks.
He's a regular. If you hear his comments, he has a fucking comment for every comment.
All right.
He's got some stories.
He has stories.
He puts many of these comments to shame.
I think they're all true. I think they're true.
Yeah.
The details are too specific.
Yeah.
It won't just be like, I slept with this lady in the bathroom of a McDonald's. It'll be like, I slept with this lady in Uncle Buck's Tavern off of Interstate 80 stop 217. Right. And there was 1 rooster, 2 hens. For some reason, they were invited. It's like, wow, dude, that totally happened, you know?
Right. All right, Joel, good for you, man.
Yeah. We're all like,
Joel's a fucking man.
Snaps.
Good stuff,
can we give Joel some snaps?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Snaps, dude.
Snaps. I don't know.
But do we have any final advice for this guy who seems to be
the bragging guy who needed to brag?
The bragging guy, yeah. About what do I do so my girlfriend finally lets this thing go for good? How can we put this to bed?
You already dug your grave. You already made your bed. You gotta sleep in it now. Sorry. Learn next time not to brag to the wrong person. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was totally your fault, dude.
Just talk about how bad her hip was or something. Like, at least you have 2 hips.
Hip shame the old
That's another thing, too, is like when people are telling about their exes, they're always like, talking about how great it was or something. It's like, why are you,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you should find a creative outlet like poetry and just write, just like express these conflicted feelings in a more productive way, because we need more poets.
Dude, he could be
the
like
world needs more poets.
He could be the horny bro Maya Angelou.
Start doing open mics.
My friend's hot mom.
Exactly.
I think he needs to team up with Collin, and then they need to pass a bill that it needs to be illegal not to talk about your sex life at a certain point.
Well, then Joel would be locked up. We don't want that.
No, I meant like, well, Joel's older. He's fine.
He'll get grandfathered in.
And like, I'm just saying at a certain time, like, you cannot talk about your sex life at 25.
Yeah,
or
go to
like,
any...
wait until you're like in your 30s, 40s, then you can make more responsible decisions.
Wherever you live, there is probably a Facebook page for stand-up comedy open mics. Go join that and start going to open mics and telling these stories, and then you'll have your fix. Yeah. Just it'll be you and a bunch of other people that may or may not have been at the Capitol riots on January 6th, and you tell them about this.
And you'll know how worthy your story is by how many chuckles you get or stares.
Yeah. Yeah,
Dude, I would literally rather try to storm the Capitol today by myself than tell my fiance about a lady who was old enough to be my mom and a friend of my mom's that I hooked up with. She would have to torture this fucking information out of me. It would have to be last seen in Braveheart shit before I told my fiance. Confess! It would have to be some wild shit. It's like, all right, so I don't have my guts ripped out and burned in front of me. I fucked Melinda. You know, like it would have to be like really extreme before I admitted to any of this.
I'm just saying that even if you talk about someone in a negative way, like that was the worst experience I ever had, I don't want to hear it.
What if
don't want to hear it.
What if your ex was Mel Gibson? Like, that's something you really got to keep quiet, right? If you fucked Mel Gibson, it's like, when did you fuck Mel Gibson?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe you might just say I dated them, you know. Yeah. But that gets implied.
Nah, it's dude. If you fuck,
hey, but nobody just dates Mel Gibson,
right?
Exactly.
No one's just
No,
going
but
out
that's
for
what I'm saying.
dinner.
It implies that it just implies. Just say I dated.
Right. You'd
I
have to
hung
know.
out with. You don't have to say.
Mel Gibson isn't leaving a date without. You know,
yeah,
his way.
yeah. But dude, here's the thing: totally bragging rights for a woman if it's like I dated young, sexy, lethal weapon Mel Gibson,
what I'm
who
saying.
we had
Right.
no
When?
idea was an anti-Semite.
When?
Like that's a fucking hot Mel Gibson. So that's cool.
2000s Mel Gibson.
Right, but if it's like, oh, when did I fuck Mel Gibson? What is it? Tuesday? It was
Right,
like,
yeah.
2015.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Right after he beat up his old girlfriend and said anti-Semitic things. Yeah, right after. I was the rebound.
I used to masturbate to those leap takes. I was really into the leaked Mel
said
Gibson
some
tapes.
crazy things.
Yeah.
He really,
I want a guy who knows how to put me in my place. And, you know, I would have blown him before the jacuzzi. I would have. You know, why the hell not? I love jacuzzis.
Huge Braveheart fan. What can I say?
Was on his side the entire time. You know, she agreed. She agreed before the jacuzzi. I don't know.
Wait, what did you do? Did you do something wrong in a jacuzzi? Mel Gibson?
Oh, that was one of the
One of the things he did. What did he do? I don't remember.
I don't know
one of
about
the
the
funniest
jacuzzi.
things he yelled was, "You were supposed to blow me before the jacuzzi."
Was this in a movie? Or
No,
was
this was on the leaked Mel Gibson tapes of him yelling at his wife
voicemail
before,
yeah.
before they
he was with.
divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah. And granted,
Wow.
hey man, she totally did some sneaky sting operation shit to him too, because like she was recording their conversation and she knew that she was like, "What? I don't know. Why are you so mad? I don't know. Why
Say
you
more
do-"
about that.
Yeah, just say more
Speak on
about
that
that.
more.
Keep talking. Yeah. I got him on the line.
This
yeah.
is how I always talk. I'm at one all the time. I don't know. Why are you so mad? No, I've been talking like this the whole conversation.
Did I ask you to blow me before the jacuzzi or after? This is a test.
Yes. There were some N-words thrown around, even though she wasn't black and he's not black. And so it's like, I don't even know how that got in there, you know, like how'd that even come up?
But now he's like in comedy movies with Mark Wahlberg, right? He's fine.
They
And-
made
and,
it a
like,
little bit of a
Yeah.
comeback. Not full comeback,
Well,
but like
you
enough.
know who I think secretly loves the Me Too movement more than victims of perverts is Mel Gibson. Just compared to when most of Hollywood was doing that whole time,
He
just
looked
yelling
pretty
some
good.
anti-Semitic shit while you're blackout drunk. Turns out it's not that fucking bad when you're being graded on the bell curve of the rest of Hollywood,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
Right, that's a great point.
He went through that door. Here we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Uh-huh. He was like, "Do I get lippy when I'm drunk? Yeah. But I always wait to hear the word yes, which is more than the rest of these do-gooders who are retweeting the best hashtags are doing. So let me be in whatever the fuck 17, you know?"
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, do
Well
we have
said.
time for one more question?
Yes.
On lightning
Oh, and
round?
Joel says it wasn't Uncle Buck's Tavern. It was behind the Coke machine. 22 miles north
my
of Nashville at the Shell station off Interstate 65. Yes, that is an actual story he's told on here. But that's what I'm saying. It's too specific. Joel says, my wife is working the overnight, so I'm in charge of getting Xander to bed in case I have to split. Great show, y'all. Hope Mama and Baby Vevera are doing well. Oh, thanks, man. We love you,
Thank
Joel.
you.
Well, yeah,
Aw.
we're going to do one last lightning round here. Let me just kind of get the music up.
You're doing 10 things at once. Good job, Snaps.
This is,
Snaps.
yes, 10 things at once. Here we go. We're going to take our final question on the Love Gurus podcast. Hopefully the dogs quit barking because they're dicks, and I'll make slippers out of them. Last question on the Love Gurus podcast. People, if you're just joining us now, like and subscribe and listen live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We are taking our last question from the wild animals on Reddit. My girlfriend can't... No, that's the fucking other one. Look at that. Look at this. Look at me bombing my dick off here. Here we go. How do I talk to my boyfriend about his job without us arguing? So this is going to be a lightning round. I'm just going to read this. We're going to do final advice for them right after I read said question. How do I talk to my boyfriend about his job without us arguing? My boyfriend and I have been dating for 3.5 years. He's 25 and I'm 22. We began talking about getting married and starting a life together. However, we recently had a talk about the dynamics of our relationship, and we came to a slight disagreement. My boyfriend makes about $35K a year with a college degree. The problem is his job constantly fucks him over, and he has not received a raise in 3 years. Now, I love him dearly, but I've brought up to him that his coworkers and even the people he trains are making significantly more. I don't have a problem with the money amount. It's the fact that he's been constantly taken advantage of. I try to bring it up to him, but he gets frustrated with me and tells me I only care about the money. He thinks that if he works hard enough, they'll appreciate him and give him a raise. It's gotten to the point where we can't talk about his work without one or both of us getting frustrated and starting a fight. It's getting so exhausting, but I can't sit there and watch this for too much longer. Is there a way to talk about this without him feeling I'm attacking him?
Yes. Keep your nose out of his business. if it's not about the money, I don't know.
All right, so Amy, that's your advice. Keep your nose out of his
well,
business.
I mean, if it's truly not about the money, sure. Then what's the point of talking about it? You know, he does, you do you, he does him, he's happy with his job. As long as he's not coming home and complaining about it nonstop, if he likes what he does and that's what it is, you got to accept it. And if it's truly not about the money, I could see you saying, hey, we need to make ends meet a different way. But if it's not about the money, let it go. Let it go.
That's true. And as we pointed out many times, when they leave out details, I have to think that it's not good for them. And it doesn't seem like if it was the kind of thing to where he was always complaining about his job, again, this is her propaganda. So her thing is like, he needs to be making more, not because I care about the money, but because he's getting fucked over. She would mention, like, this dude's always complaining about getting fucked over. That's nowhere in here. I'm not seeing that. It seems like that's coming with them talking about it.
I think she seems like the more business-minded one in the relationship.
Yeah.
So I think this is an opportunity for them to, maybe go into business together. She could be the pimp. He could be the male escort.
Yeah.
I just watched a documentary about Heidi Fleiss. She was going to open a stud farm. There's women. There are women who have done it.
Yeah.
And I sense this from this girl.
Yeah.
She's got a madam in her future.
Yes.
And she's got her first stud. And they've got a really bright future together.
A madam, a male pimp, somebody who collects the money for somebody else getting fucked. Or like getting fucked, or as they call it in corporate America, being an intern, and you say, you want my man to intern for you? You pay me $75K a year, and he's going to intern so hard for you. He's going to do all the spreadsheets, all the Excel. He'll work overtime.
Just a line of coke.
And if he talks shit, I'll fucking backhand him, all right? I'll cut him, not in the face, because he's still got to make that money, but I'll cut him somewhere where it don't show, and I'll let him know. You think about you think about leaving Big T woman. Big T woman gonna cut you.
Big T woman.
Yeah, Big T woman.
What?
And,
that's her madam name.
That's her madam name.
Big T
woman.
Big T woman.
That's my final advice.
I think she should. I'm gonna just go completely off the rails. I think she should show up to his work and go directly to the boss.
Yeah.
I think
like
nothing, because nothing will get him moving faster, right? He comes in, he's got his coffee, he's like, all right, let me punch in, what's my password, right? And he's like, Jesus, is that Kimberly? Is that Kim? What is Kim?
My soon-to-be wife?
Kim, what do you do? Kim, why are you walking? Kim? Oh my God. He will get up so fast and cut her off and be like, I'll just go in and say something. Because nothing would be worse than you saying something to my boss. So show up, make sure he sees you, come in, don't say a word to him, slam the door, make a beeline for the boss's office. He will move so quickly.
Yeah.
And you'll have your you'll get it done.
I like that. And I think she should be dressed like an old stereotypical like angry Italian housewife, like not the one that takes the backhand from the mobster guy, but the lady who, if anything, she beats the shit out of her husband before he goes to work at like a blue-collar job.
In Goodfellas, where she has the gun, you know, like she's like
a Karen
on top
from
of Ray
Goodfellas.
Liotta.
Yeah, I'm talking she goes in there with like a sort of like a shitty like house gown on, and she's got curlers in her hair, and she's got a rolling pin, and she's like, "Why ain't he getting paid more? What the fuck? Who's running this shithole company?" You know, and just starts making a scene. Yeah. That would be great, dude.
Yeah,
I like that. Well, I do think that she should take matters into her own hands at work. I think you're right, and I think you're right as well. She.
Wait, you're right, and you're right.
Dude, everyone's right. Okay. Everyone's right.
Who's the you're
right? I love this podcast.
Yeah.
We just yes and everybody.
We just yes and the whole fucking thing, dude. She is more business minded. You know, one thing that she mentioned was very telling. Caitlin just got bit by the cat.
I did. It's okay.
Dude, the cat's a fucking twat. Dude, that cat is an asshole.
No,
but
no,
we love him. But like, dude, all our pets are dicks. So look at him. He just knocked my earbuds on the floor. That sound you heard, that was the cat going, "Fuck these earbuds. I don't even like this brand." You know, like he's a fucking asshole. But no, I think she should. She mentioned something that I thought was very interesting, and that was that the people that he trains are now making more than the 35K that he's making. Yeah. She should what? Apply for a job there. Yeah.
Oh, good idea, Jay.
Yeah, they train her, and then she's making more money. You know, eventually, she's running the company. You know, like she's running the company, or at least making a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so together,
boss.
It's like they're clearly taking advantage of him. Joel on YouTube says, "I swear to God, this isn't my girlfriend. However, I'd give my left nut to make 35K a year." Found out that after being there for 16 years, my boss is closing the doors after 75 years in the business.
Wow.
Fuck, man. Sorry to hear that, dude.
Well, we got a co-hosting job open.
That's true, man. If the feds bust Suzanne, we're going to need somebody to come up here and co-host Love Gurus podcast.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome. I mean, I'm sure she's correct. Everything she read on 16 Chan is probably true.
Definitely checks out.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll be good. But yeah, I think she's going to have to just kind of take matters into her own hand, the lady in this question. And I would say, you know, on a more serious note, just stop fucking bringing it up to him. Look, if he's not bitching about it, and you're truly not worried about the money, which I suspect you are.
Yeah,
you know, you were
that's the whole
very
thing.
specific with the amount. And you very much were like, oh, he should be making more. And like, you're making valid points, but the fact is he doesn't seem to be complaining about this to you outside of you bringing up what you and him need to be doing. So it's like, listen, either you start making more than 35K a year, because it's 2022 now, girl power, or, you know, like fucking stop being such a dick about what he's bringing home, or just admit, like, hey, we need to be making more. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, man, 35K a year is not a lot of money if we're going to be starting a family. I know this because I work in radio. I definitely identify with this guy. Yeah, you've been working there. You're making shit money. I get it. You know, it's like there's nothing wrong with you being like, hey, listen, if we want to have a kid, we got to be able to be financially stable. I know this as a guy who's about to have a kid and is not financially stable at all. I get her concern with 35K a year. Believe me, I get the concern with that amount.
Amy's a great madam name. Amy's a great madam name.
Right.
And yeah.
It is.
This could be the new stuff.
Jake is a great
stud
pip
farm.
name.
Yeah.
Pip name, madam, you know.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing is like, at least be honest about what you're doing and being like, listen, I'm concerned about the money. I don't think we make enough money. That's not insane if you're getting married. That's not an insane thing. I don't think that's gold digger shit necessarily. I don't think it's like whatever to be concerned about your financial future. But don't do the thing where you're like, I don't care about the money though. You know what I mean? Right. Don't turn around and act like, oh, I don't give a shit. Because you do give a shit. You're the one bringing it up. Yeah. He didn't bring it up to you. If he did, you would have put it in the question. You would have mentioned he's driving me fucking nuts with his job. I hate his job. I want to quit his job for him. Yeah. Like, that would have been in there. That was not in there. Yeah. So I think you need to apply for this job. Or maybe, here's a thought, murder his boss. I normally don't advocate for murder much, but like maybe the new guy It sort of word gets around, like some people, he was only paying $35K a year, even though they've been there for years. And then all of a sudden, got clipped, got murdered by a rolling pin, by an angry housewife, you know?
There was lasagna everywhere.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I think that could be done. Or leave him for Captain Sully, you know?
Yeah.
You know who's not fucking complaining about only making $35K a year? Captain Sully. Yeah. He's getting royalties from the Tom Hanks movie as well.
He does have a drinking problem. No, I'm just kidding.
Or even better, fuck the guy that Denzel Washington portrayed. He's more of a man than Sully. He's more of a man. Absolutely. Yeah. You guys have been awesome, man. Thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to everybody on YouTube. Thank you to Joel. Thank you to Tyler. Thank you to Joanne. Thank you to Mike. And thank you to our awesome guests. Thank you to Amy Liszka, to Collin Chamberlin, to Caitlin McKee. Until next week, like and subscribe to the podcast. Ask us questions at loveguruspodcast@yahoo.com, or even better, listen live every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Until next week, later.